I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it movement. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it. I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it movement. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it. It's young Khuli, Khuli, out of Khuli, Chana. Got a new song, powered by Mandela. I just got paid. I'm self-made and I'm paid. I could care less about my body. I give a F bless, put it on to body. I spread love when I'm on straight. I guess love when I start shade. Hey, I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it move. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it. I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it movement. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it. I'm not taking another bag, I just say try to do. One life to live, this is what I gotta do. I got to get bricks up feeling and start to build it, yeah, feeling. Whoever thought couldn't find an mama to would fucking pop and pop all of you. This time get well and talk the ceiling. Embrace the life for sure, feeling. I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it movement. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it. I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it movement. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it. I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it movement. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it. I break it down, break it down, break it down. You hit the side, hit the side, hit the side. You be thinking it, wanting and making it movement. Thinking ridiculous, having to prove it.
That's the legendary Khuli Chana coming through featuring KGism on this one. Hazardous Move, taken from his 2012 album Lost in Time. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Music Unscripted Twitter Spaces. My name is Spoken Priestess. We are here every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central African Time, 6 p.m. West African Time, and 8 p.m. East African Time. Today is so special. We've been counting down for the past 3 weeks to arrive at this date. And I'm so, so happy to be here and to welcome my big brother Khuli Chana to the space. We are going to be chatting about his newly established content hub called Khuli Chana Studios. The minute I saw the tweet, I was like, hi, we need to talk about this on the Music Unscripted Twitter Spaces. And he said yes. Shout out to the team for allowing us to have time with him tonight. So yeah, hey big bro. Hey Khuli.
What's up? What's up? What's up, little one?
I'm getting you. It's been forever.
Don't worry about me, dude. I'm just like super slow. Yo, I wear too many hats now. It's wake up. I'm at the studio. Bunch of meetings. Bunch of Sequoia. And then I hop on another Zoom meeting for my post grad innovation and entrepreneurship with AVDA. Trying to elevate the creative industry. And then I'm back to back with my manager, and then I'm back home. Wifey's talking that other crazy stuff, and then I'm a dad. Yo, it's crazy. And then I'm online watching Big Zulu and KO do that thing.
Ay, se lo coñón.
Yo, man, life has become really interesting and just like it's crazy. I can't keep up.
Listen, you're doing great. First of all, first and foremost, you're doing great. You're doing amazing. Everything you've worked for all your life has come to this level, and it's exciting to see that you keep growing and investing in yourself all the time. So big up for that. Congratulations on everything.
Oh, thank you, man. And you know the reaction, the response, and I think a lot of people, and don't have the context or the understanding 100% of what this is. But I appreciate that support and that reaction. It was like, it felt like they were expecting it. It felt like this is what we've been waiting for, and it was so validating for me. It was just like, oh wow, I guess I'm at the right place.
You're definitely at the right place. It's definitely something that the game needs right now. And it couldn't have come at such a great moment because we're currently in a huge content creation era. And one thing that a lot of creators will struggle with, and mostly those that are upcoming and still starting out and trying to establish themselves as creators, is space, a space where
Yeah.
they can create this stuff. They constantly have to hire venues, restaurants, find, little gems where they can create their content at. And for you to have opened something like this is obviously like water to a lot of people's souls. So never mind the confusion. We're going to clear it all out today. We're going to talk about the Chana Studios and what it does, what it offers. From my research, we saw that what people can expect is a multimedia house catering for TV productions, content creation, webinars, special events, and live performances, as well as live streams. Let's just backtrack a bit. You put out an announcement last month about, okay, we're here, the Chana studios are open. But I'm curious to know how many years in the making the studio has been, because it's been a long time dream of yours. At what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to do this? And I'm curious to know what you did, who you got into the room, who did you call, and how did you make this thing come together?
Oh, wow. Great question. So 2015, I shipped down a brilliant mind, producer by the name of Apusi Bigedi, who produced One Source, that landed the big deal with Absolute, and what I first did was like, I mean, we've been going back and forth with this kid since he was probably like maybe 15. And then eventually we get to this place where I feel like he's ready and I'm ready to take him on. We find this house in Cosmo City. We ran that for like 12 months. And then I realized it's too small. And then I started opening myself up to the idea, just the idea of like it could be more. It could be a recording studio space, it could be photography, it could be TV shows and wada, right? And then at the time I was in the west of Joburg, found this warehouse, got the warehouse. I had a little bit of money. Hey, nigga, Caspanyo vest at the time. And then get the space, and then we started drawing up the plan. And I go ahead first. That was then. Got the place, invested my money in there, and oh man, about 8 months in, I realized there was a lot of red flags. One, I remember a moment where I got multi choice, somebody from multi choice came in there and said, "There's a great space you have over here, but it's right in front of a main road. Can you soundproof the place?" And, from there it was just downhill, you know? And all we could do was like make some music in the space, Planet of the Have Nots, came from there. It's where, Madlera recorded a lot of music. Cageism is about to drop his first album, that was recorded in that space. But everything else, that I was trying to accomplish in there was an epic fail. So, that it started there, but it was inspired by Maftown Heights. As you know, Maftown Heights, is an event property that was inspired by the Motswako movement, but also to bridge a gap between Mafikeng, KZN, Joburg, Pretoria, you know what I'm saying? And also breaking new artists. I mean, on that stage, I witnessed Casper at zero level, A Reese, Gigi Lamaine, Manu All Star, Shane Eagle, you could name them. I On that stage we had Burner Boy, um, uh, 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 a bunch of them. We had Polytones, Bongo Muffin, TKZ. And we our whole plan was to shine a light on the up and coming, shine a light on the icon living. You know what I mean? And took some lessons from Maftown Heights, took some lessons from the absolute deal, and how their whole narrative and their whole mission was to, shine a light on African creative revolutionaries. And that kind of pushed me in this direction to go, oh, geez, there's more than just like being a rapper. I could become a vessel, for musicians and creatives from all walks of life, not just rappers. You know, it could be a fine artist, it could be somebody in fashion, and I could house them, and I could develop them and cultivate them into something great. So that's where it started. Priestess, and it was a lot of mistakes, epic fails, one after the other. At one point I got some investors, and it just went from it went from 100 to a zero. And and then here we are. I can't wait to share that story about how I got into the space, but it was just like, that was just God. I got Lamaka, and I've got a great partnership. It's a consortium of experts in audio, experts in TV production. Um, we've got Sound GP, you have virtual productions, you have Emix, and you have the Khuli Chana studios, and that's where we at.
You know what? If there's one thing that I will repeat or double tap on in your conversation, is your honesty and emphasis on epic fail. Just so people know that regardless of how high or how far people go and how successful a lot of their work seems, they are not without failures. And I appreciate that, because we also need not forget that it's okay to not get it right the first time around, but the more you try and build and fix, then you start to close the loopholes. And we're so excited that you guys managed to finally crack it, and the timing, as mentioned, is perfect. So maboho ho fitla fana, because it's been quite a journey. Let's talk a little bit more about the studios. It's a content creation hub. I appreciate that you mentioned the team as well. First things first, if somebody comes into the studio, does the team come with the studio automatically? How does it work? How do you envision it working for creators, especially independent creators?
It's a turnkey solution. So you come in there, you literally have everything. If you're a podcaster, we got you. That is from production, that's audio, that's the space. In there we have about three studios right now, and then in the process of building Studio 4, which is the biggest space. Live performers from mainstream to independent artists, you are able to create your special. Comedians, you know fine artists who want to exhibit in the space. It can literally house any creatives. I can't wait to have you in the space. Real talk. I'm trying to poach everybody that I came up with into that space. We in talks with the podcast Libononi, to come in there and rock the thing in this space. So we have a turnkey solution. If you have had your own team, oh, that's great. Then we'll gladly just give you the space, charge you a little bit. But because I'm in that space and I know how hard it, we're able to leverage off each other, and figure it out together. You know what I'm saying?
Tlabegile da, first of all, I've been thinking of ways to come through, and since you already opened the door, I will definitely be creating in the space with my crew as well. So just to get it right, people can openly book, request a particular space. For example, you mentioned 4 different studios, so they can say, "I'm doing a podcast. I would like to record a podcast," and they book the space. Are you charging the creatives? How does it work? How does the charging, structure work for the studio?
Yeah, there's rates. It's a business, and somebody went out and said the studio is for free. I don't know where. Are you there?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm here.
sorry about that. Okay, cool. So yeah, but with I don't know if you know about the Amped Studios by All Mutual.
Yes, in
So
Newtown.
also super
Mm.
inspired by John Savage. So there are artists who may not have the money, but they are valuable. you know I know they will be able to scale up the venture and what it is and my mission and my vision. You know what I'm saying? So it will differ, from artist to artist, but it's a business like any other business where you know what I'm saying, you pay to get in, but it's not so it's gonna be pretty flexible, and that's pretty much how I will custom make it for every individual. You get what I'm saying? Depending on that
Yes.
they bring in. Some of my customers just want to get in and get out. You know what I mean? We recently hosted Brand Jägermeister in there, and we hosted about 10 artists for the Jägermeister concert in a bottle. You'll know about that real soon. And that was amazing for me, and I recently met another artist who's unknown, who's just like, listen, here's my budget. I want to come in there and shoot a little special, and boom, that's it, done. Some people want longevity, some people want it short term, and yeah, I was a little bit skeptical about doing the interview because we still digging, we're still doing the work. You know what I mean? So, but I felt like I think people need to kind of have some context as to what it is that we're doing in the space. So yeah, man, it just depends. Depends if Ezra M feels like, yo, I just want to do a podcast in there. This is my following, and you've got me. You've got me, and that's your leverage, to say, yo, okay, cool, you can relate, and how do you think we can work it out? And then I speak to the partners, and we custom make something great for you, and we elevate you, you elevate us. It's collaborative, everybody wins.
I love that. I love that. Let's double tap on Kulani Murule, the business, because that's the conversation that has been coming up. And you did mention that you're kind of finding your feet in different roles and you're in a different phase of your life. I was very curious about when you start switching, I wouldn't say it's a switch, but there's a natural progression from the rapper behind the mic, the star, to the businessman, how you want to advance your brand and grow it into other kind of income streams that are more sustainable in the future, which becomes Kulani Murule, the business. Did you have any mentors or like coaches, any books that you read? You said now that you furthering your studies. What are some of the things that you've been clutching on to become the business? How have you been prepping yourself to come out of the star or the artist, space to become the business mogul that you are working towards?
Wow, jeez, yo. um, um, and it started really early in my music career. That actually came first when I was just about to go solo. Actually, I think it was second album of being in with Morafi, and I met a guy by the name of Tabama Kwetla, you know, and his background is in branding and marketing and just really brilliant mind. And I don't know how I ended up in that space. He gave me this book titled Peak Performance. Took this book, and in there, you know, you know, I think chapter 3 was about Jay-Z and Damon Dash and what they were doing as peak performers. But chapter 1, chapter 2, and every other chapter was about cricketers, golfers, rugby players, and in that era, everyone that was bagging sponsorship deals were the rugby players in this country, you know, be it a car sponsorship, be it alcohol, be it anything, no brand, you know, was trying to flirt with the idea or even trust a rapper or Kwaito, and started reading up on that. But I have to say that Rufilo Ramokase, they really, planted the seed and the idea of me becoming an entrepreneur, you know, because when I signed the deal in 2010 with them, my ideas were already flowing, and I was just like, I had this crazy vision. They had to manage it. Some of it was like way ahead of its time. And one of them was Maftown Heights. And I was like, listen, you know, I'm from Mafikeng. Double HP's out here in Joburg. We've got Naughty, we've got all these guys, and I'd like to create a platform where we could have this family reunion and we could be the platform that will preserve the culture of where I'm from, you know? So they had a hand in it 100%, you know, and a lot of people that I met along the way, and it's not easy because naturally I'm just I'm just the artist. I've had to find ways to develop the other brain, and I think I'm about to hit that sweet spot in honesty. I check King Buso is over here. He applauds me a lot for all the little moves that I do, but it's just been me failing forward, to be honest, priestess. Like, I've always wanted more because when I got to the top, I realized that my responsibility was to kind of pull everybody up, send the elevator down, and even in that is an art that takes time. You can't save everybody, and you got to learn about how you possibly could do that. So yeah.
That's inspiring. You kind of touched a nerve in the responsibility that a lot of us as creatives have for a lot more people. Simply because the nature of creatives is just to have this humongous gift, to heal, to create a world that people can be happy or comfortable surviving. I want to just touch quickly about how you self-regulate. So much pressure in your many different hats. Also, as a man, you're growing in different ways, discovering different things about yourself as you go along the way. How do you self-regulate the pressure, the emotions, and perhaps even some of your frustrations? For example, when you're trying to get the studio up and you're losing so much money, how do you self-regulate through those challenges?
You damn. I, if I had to be honest, my relationship with Madlera Doughboy runs really deep. So I met Madlera Doughboy in I think around 2015. It and that's around about that absolute Khuli Chana, absolute vodka Khuli Chana run. And I think everybody thought it was a big deal, and yes, it was probably the biggest highlight of my career. But I'm not on the charts. I'm off the charts. I'm off rhythm. I'm not hitting the notes like I used to. And one thing I learned about being an artist is that we are super emotive. We very sensitive people. So, but just opening up to him and him constantly reminding me of who I am and how I've inspired him, and of also him, you know, being my crutches and me allowing him to be my crutches through that time, through a very dark time. That's one. So we'll tick that box. My mom, we still speak every week, you know, and just hanging on to the little things, to being Kulani. That Kulani created Kulichana. So I never forget that, you know. And then, now I'm older, more mature. I have a family now. My wife is like my biggest cheerleader. My daughter, they behind me all the time. My mother-in-law, just I have a great support system. And just, also I think artists, the reason why we're so susceptible to depression is if that one idea does not pop off, ugh, it's like your whole world is crashing. We don't know how to deal with failure, and you forget that you were Kulani Murule before Kulichana. So you could create another. So I learned a trick in just reinventing, recreating, and just started absorbing more content on how to recreate myself. If this idea doesn't work, that's fine. You know, as a little dude growing up, it was girls. Okay, cool. Yellow bones not feeling me. Dark girls feeling me. Or that dark girl's not feeling me anymore. This yellow one, this yellow one likes me better. Or maybe I'm just not for this. I'm for that. And you evolve. And just never letting yourself get stuck. One thing that Madlera said to me that has stuck with me till this day, he said, the come up never stops, the pinnacle does not exist. So, you know, if you are me and you're turning 40 this weekend, the come up never stops. You're always coming up because the pinnacle does not exist. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be like the universe, and be limitless and be infinite, and that's where I'm at. And sometimes it's very, very lonely. I had to cut out a lot of things, a lot of ideas about myself or about the game, and be in a lonely place and craft it. Proverb is one of the guys that I've engaged with and who schooled me on how to navigate the system. Slicker, wow. I watched Slicker at his peak, and I watched him go, nah, I'm gonna take this off ramp and recreate myself. So those are the guys I look up to. So the come up never stops. The pinnacle does not exist.
Mm, amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for those jewels. And your career is testament of how much you've always reinvented yourself. Like it's insane. Over the years, the steam never runs out. And I think the thing that we, or personally, I'll speak for myself, but I think a lot of us can relate that we appreciate about you is that you just always kept to your source. Like whatever you felt like at the time is what you put out, and it was always authentically Khuli Chana. You never tried to mold yourself into any kind of era, fit into any kind of system, and it's just testament of the fact that reinvention is actually the answer to keeping your creativity alive for as long as it needs to go. Quickly before we wrap up, we've got a few more minutes with you, but I also want to open up the platform for just one or two questions if somebody would like to ask you something. The Kuli Chana Foundation, I saw you had such a beautiful activation. Go Krecheng Maloba. Can you tell us
Yeah.
about the Kuli Chana Foundation and what you envision for it as well?
Hey man, great story to tell over there. Kulichana Foundation was inspired by Mouthtown Heights. So it's 2019, and we celebrating Mouthtown Heights 10 years in the game, right? And then I had to make an executive decision and go, are we gonna, throw another big concert? Nah, we're not gonna do that. What I want to do is create a creative workshop, right? And that's how. And then at the time, I'm dealing with government. Government, you know, they move a little different. And then I was motivated. I was told to create a MPO if I want to do that. And because blah blah blah, and there's regulations and rules and boom boom boom. It's a long story, but that's how it came about. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna create the Kuli Chana Foundation, and we we hosted the Mathtown Heights Creative Workshop in Mafikeng, had the giants in the music industry, right? I had Ricky in my hometown speaking to about 300 kids from Mafikeng, from Delareyville, from Klerksdorp, all Northwest, right? And had JR in there, Nota was there, had Teresho of Opi Kopi, had the guy, had Big Bro from Joy of Jazz, had Deans of Mathtown Meets Pitori, Refile Mathtown Heights, had Gabby from Channel O, had Nadia Nakai, and it was worth it. It was valuable. It was like the best decision. And that's what kind of, put me in that space. It was everything I've ever done was inspired by music and my industry, and how to better it, how to shape it, and everything I've actually ever earned in my life, be it in material, be it in experiences, came from music, so I give back to it, and it gives back tenfold, and as we started moving, we're like, okay, cool, you know people, there's other people outside the industry that need more, this lady in Hammanskraal who runs a creche was like, listen man, I just need a couple swings here and this, and she persisted. I spoke to Abiot, my manager, spoke to, Lamise, spoke to a couple people, and, we put something together. Uh, you know, Early this year, Mitsubishi reached out to us. We wanted to gift 100 kids with like, 100 kids with just uniform. And, we partnered up with them, and that was amazing, and this space for me has been the most fulfilling, because it has allowed me to go into spaces that I haven't been in a very long time, because as artists we also kind of live in our own bubble, and we forget go na le batho ba sotlegang, ba karategang, and it's allowed me to be in those spaces and be a helping hand. And wow, man, it's crazy.
We're so proud of you. Congratulations on everything. Congratulations on what's even coming in the future. We wish you so many more sync deals, brand collaboration, and just growth, and your territory to multiply beyond your own imagination. It's really, really exciting and inspiring to see you grow like this. We're going to open up the floor for some questions. I wanted to ask you something, but yeah, I wanted to ask you with the lunch bar, conversation or the lunch bar ad, how does it feel to see music that you created like about 10 years ago find new life in a way? That's why I opened the space with Hazardous Moves. And I know with licensing and publishing deals, what happens is that once you think the song has reached its lifespan, that's when you actually can license it. But I just want to know from a creative point of view where you're in a space where working on your music. I saw there's a clip that you're teasing on your Instagram, but your song from 10 years ago is currently leading and is resurfacing, leading people back to the album to listen to it again. How does that feel?
Wow, you have no idea, priestess. You have no idea. I mean, this deal in particular, like, was it happened in the. I'm talking deep in this COVID nonsense, deep in this horror. Anxiety is like at its highest level. You know, you super worried all the time, and then I get this email about this campaign. That and the email was about, listen, want to tell a story about a legend and how they came up and saw and conquered and boom boom boom. And it was like, we've got about 14 entries, and I was just like, should I be auditioning? I'm like i'm like Khuli Chana, like, haven't I put in the work? And I had to humble myself and just do the work. And man, it was crazy. It was just like an actor, like a model, like a rapper who's coming up, who's just right at the beginning, starting over, you know. And my story resonated, That TVC is about my life story, about how the music bug, hit me, and how my mom used to like pop in my room, watch me writing rhymes, and go. And one night, how she decided, you know what, if he's writing rhymes, I'm just gonna let him be, and how I gained popularity in and built that confidence in primary school, high school, because I was like a little scrawny duck guy, nothing, not much going for me at the time, and how I created myself in that space, and then all the way up to becoming Khuli Chana, and then now passing the baton to Madlera Doughboy. So if you watch that lunch bar ad, you will see that the last guy you see that now hops onto stage is Madlera Doughboy, and it was like a true story, and the most heartwarming campaign I've ever done, the realest one I've ever done, and it was a chocolate. It wasn't alcohol. It wasn't anything I've ever done. And we've done amazing stuff. Like at the Kulichana Studios, we hosted a live legendary lessons music edition, and we had about 30, mus- you know, in the audience, musicians, influencers, TikTokers, you name it, producers in there. Alongside me was career coach by the name of Vumim Sweli. And it was great just sharing my life lessons and the come up, and how they resonated with that was amazing. So yeah, we and how we got to that place when we chose Hazardous Move was amazing, and I'm glad they went with that song. Yeah.
It's a classic. We've got a few people on the panel joining us, and they seem impatient, want to speak. I'm gonna go through Lepara la Maftao Mahikeng. You had you had requested long when we started the space. I'll allow you to just unmute yourself and just share with us if you have a question or anything to add for Kulichana tonight.
Nah, I just wanna say, Khuli Chana, my guy. Yo,
What up,
Khuli.
baby?
Yo, Khuli. Yo, listen, man. Whatever you're doing, man, shout out. You know you my guy. You know you my guy.
Yeah, yeah, you my guy too, bro. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Nothing much.
Now connected to Michael's
Jovicho.
iPad.
Thank you. The Bluetooth device is connected there, my friend.
uh, I'm still.
Chivo, please go ahead. You had your hand up as well. Please, you can go now. Chivo Sky,
Oh, I'm here. Sorry, Chivoski.
come through. Thank you for correcting me, Chivoski. Go ahead, Abutiak.
Hotman, how you doing?
I'm nice, Papit Chivoski.
Chivoski, the best DJ in the country. No cap. Come on.
No cap, of course.
Come
Uh,
outside. Come outside.
100. And the craziest one. Uh,
You know it,
yeah,
Hotman.
man.
I just wanna ask you, like, with all the different hats that you're wearing right now, like, would you say that you're getting enough rest?
Oh, bro. You know, I still feel like I'm not working hard enough,
Mm.
There's a lot to do, but yeah, I wish I could get enough rest, but yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to do, man. For me, I'll tell you, Chivoski, I know you personally, and I know what this game means to you, and having watched you, and we just recently like met in person and really started vibing with each other. But you have a deep connection with what we started years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, or deep connection with the music. Like your connection to it runs a whole lot deeper. It's not just to get a little bit of fame, get a little bit of money, and tap out. I've been watching you for years, so yeah, man, and that's me. So I don't get enough rest. I'm always trying to figure it out, but sometimes I just switch off.
Now connected to Michael's iPad.
I just switch off the phone, and I prioritize my mental health, my physical, my family, whatever it may be. Yeah, man.
Nah, for you, Hotman. All the best. Let's take it to the top. Kulishana multimillionaire in the making. Come on.
Come on, baby. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then now
Word is love.
now I'm gonna pop a cabbage. At least now I'm not gonna flex on you guys. Go go
No,
bash.
that's real. Word is love. Please come through. Let us know what's on your mind, my brother.
What's up, everyone? Hi, Priestess. Khuli Chana. What's up, big bro?
What's up, my homie? Kibole, man.
Word is, word is, Velafine. We've met
Oh,
actually.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk to me,
Yeah, yeah,
bro.
yeah. From Eswatini.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk to me, my
Yeah,
homie.
yeah, bro. No, bro. I just want to say, how inspired I am. Uh, uh, you holding on to the dream for so long, bro. I remember. I think the studio's at the same spot you took me at. I'm not sure, but yeah, like I think it was 2018, and you spoke about dealing with failure. Yo, bro, there you were speaking to me, bro. Like, yo, I think also I've tried to like reinvent myself for so long. I think when you met me, I was doing like podcasts and stuff. Now I'm doing artist management. So yeah, bro,
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Wow.
bro. So yeah, big up, bro.
So you've been to the old studios, huh? The old
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
bro.
yeah. I've been to that. So I
Wow.
think, yeah, bro. Yeah, man. How inspired I am for you to hold on to your dream for so long.
Yo, man. God bless your heart, bro, and your hustle, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I can tell you this, bro. You fail forward. You just kind of keep going, and whatever it is that you have zero control over, you kind of let that go, bro. You know, and you go into this thing just being a student. You know, you
yeah.
just got to keep learning and absorbing, and before you know it, bro, you and always speak things into existence. Just speak it. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. And before you know it, bro, it all comes together, man. So thank you, man. Thank you for this, bro. If you've been to that space, then you know, bro. Because you have no idea
You
that
know,
space where, you know, when we closed it, it was the hardest time of my life. You know, because it was so bad. I moved out of Joburg. I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed because I was like, nah, you failed, and yeah, man. So God bless your heart, bro. And I think we need more artist managers, and I think you're gonna do extremely well, bro. God bless your
thank you,
heart.
bro.
Yeah,
Thank you,
man.
bro.
I will attest to how amazing he's doing. He's introduced us to an incredible artist from Eswatini named Amari. You actually should listen to some of his joints. You will appreciate his sound and just the way that boy is designed is just so fabulous. So you're doing a great job for sure. Yes. Let me see who else I've got. There's Farah. How you doing?
Hey, I'm all good. It's Pharaoh. I hope you're good yourself.
Pharaoh, thank you so much for correcting me.
Nah, it's no pressure at all. Yo, Khuli the GOAT. How you doing, my king?
I'm nice. I'm nice, my homie. I'm trying to find you here on the. All right, cool. We speaking to Pharaoh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're speaking to Pharaoh. First off, thanks for the follow back on Insta. I heard them say something about not necessarily burnout, but necessarily going to more music coming. And of course, I'm a fan, so I'm waiting for the new music coming. But I got a little question, yeah?
All right, talk to me.
Are we getting that Big Zulu diss track?
Oh, come on, bro. You know I'm not in that business. I will probably host it. you know, you, I'm not. I'm trying to become the home for hip hop, for amapiano, for what I mean. I just think it's actually exciting. In the beginning, I was just like, we don't need this. But Questa dropped his today, and I'm watching the audience, and they super
But
excited about it, and that's great, man. But
I feel like all of them are going about it the wrong way, and I feel like because you're in such a space where it's like a matter of um, a disciplinary type thing. It's not necessarily coming at him in the sense of yeah, you wag, screw you, ning ning,
no,
mageza.
bro,
Not
that's
in
not
that
even
sense.
it. I want to host Big Zulu's like special. That's the business I'm in now. I want to host his special. Spaces for him to tell his story.
Or
The
you trying to
spaces for
school him, not diss him.
no, not school him. Give him the space for him to school you.
Woo! That's hot.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't fight that. I can't
I
fight that.
won't lie. I won't lie. Sometimes I get super jelly because it's like, damn, these guys are having fun, and I wish I could do that. But
What you mean you
my,
wish, King? You could do that any day.
I
Like you could
know,
write something
yeah,
right now.
I know. But my purpose is, I, I have to serve. I have to do something.
Man, Kuli, you
Much.
better serve this nigga, man. That's what I'm saying. Just a little. Let's get a little 1 minute 30. That's all I'm asking for. Just the one
Hey,
minute
you hip
30 where
hop.
you go
Hey,
off.
you hip hop niggas love the drama. Hey, lerata
Ay,
drama.
Listen,
Ay,
King.
baladi.
All I'm saying, right? All I'm saying is, I'm not saying go at him, headshots, whatever. All I'm saying is the
Just
perspective you're
two
giving right
lines,
now.
right?
I'm saying. This is what hip hop needs. This is where it should be going.
Yeah.
This is where you went wrong, and this is why I'm the big homie. That's all I need. Like, I'm not asking for too much, Cooley.
Nah, bro. No, man. Hip hop needs a whole lot more than that. And I'm not trying to Jesus the game. Like
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, bro. It's if we want growth, and I think
Yes.
what Big Zulu is doing, and what KO and Questa is doing, is just trying to grow the culture, and that's dope.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. If the audience gives us a thumbs up, then it means that it's working.
Yes.
I am now a house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Uh, and and yeah, man, I just want to grow the culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, be it a versus, I could host the versus. You know what I'm saying?
Sheesh. I think
Yeah,
that's.
if
I
you
think
want,
that's that.
if you
That
want to
that I'd
pick
like to see
somebody,
too.
yeah, if you want to pick somebody you think I should versus with, then great, we'll do it in my space. That's what the space is for. Just to grow the culture. You know, yeah, because it's not WWE, bro. This is real life. These guys are families. These guys are real people. You know what I mean? So, and all I'm trying to do is like, how do we monetize this thing? Because I've watched guys go up and go down, and I know what the bottom looks like, and I'm just like, maybe nobody ever has to go through that. And the guy that comes after me will do better, and the guy that comes after me will take it up a notch. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for you, I'll send 2 lines free.
Amazing. I love that banter. I think the pickup is that he's playing, his priorities are different. And we said Kulane Murule, the business. So that's where the state of mind is at. That's what we're exploring right now, and we can definitely respect that. We're about to close the space. Before we do, I want to play you something, Kuli, and I need answers from you, okay? I'm
Oh.
gonna play this and I want answers, please.
Ooh.
I need answers.
Oh.
They must think that I'm in denial, have reached the ceiling. Nah, I'm reaching line, no dancing on the ceiling. Nah, get my piano, oh what a feeling. But study by more the bubbly chilling. Dying money shine funnily here. Get dying money giant walks is compulsory here. Yeah, diamond walks in the luxury lane. Yeah, now let walk like the Nelly is here. Bless Mudidi with the light of Lucini. Through the windshield of a British Muccini. You seen the other side, I seen the art of life. Grab a book, the stock matters alright. Yup, plug closed off geographies. Some over money bags like groceries. Man, Monday prayers with rosaries. Tattoo Tuesdays, courtesy of the me's. Let's go. Feeling big, big, ready to die. Kill with Jaws, cause I'm dealing with mine.
You, we need answers. We need answers. Start talking. Start talking. You have 2 minutes to explain yourself.
Oh, yo. You're a nice rapper, even when it's like distorted. Even when it sounds bad. Like I love to rap. I'm good at it. I love music. That joint is something we worked on. I think during that last phase of COVID with Abu Sibikedi. I mentioned him earlier, who made One Source, and it's part of my unreleased project that's going to drop. Amen. And I'm super excited about what's happening in hip hop, because I got this stash of just like the nicest shit I've ever worked on as a rapper that I can't wait to drop. So I'm gonna let them run and do that and make a noise, because this is, I think you're gonna appreciate this. All my like day one fans are gonna appreciate this. And I think because I move this way now, corporate and business moves. You guys think I can't rap anymore. Askis. Yo, I'm still one of the nicest, if not the nicest one. No question. And you're gonna love it. A lot of it in there is gonna be a lot of truth, a lot of, honesty about where I'm at, where I'm trying to, get to, and what I've been going through. You're gonna love it.
And that's on period. Don Culiano. We've got one more request. MJ Wemoto, welcome, my brother. He's a regular in the space. I really love to see our community as well. Just sharing their mind. How you doing, my brother?
Shout out, how's things? Sorry, I joined a bit late. I'm actually at work, but can't miss this opportunity to interact with the legend, Khuli Chana. How's it going, Khuli Chana?
I'm nice. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome, awesome. Now, my question is this: you have the loudest silent moves I've ever seen in the game.
Damn,
You
loud.
really, you really embody the best of both worlds talent wise, but also on the business side. Your endorsements, partnerships, it always seems right. Now, I know it's probably not as easy as it sounds, but how did you leverage your talent in the first instance to move that way? Because I think that's a very important lesson for anybody in the industry trying to make something of themselves. But most importantly, how you've done it has shown that the path is not the same for everybody, but can be, almost like outside of the box. And this is how you've inspired me, but I know a lot of other people. But how did you leverage it from a talent perspective? Because now it's a brand that's huge, but the way you did it, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Wow, dude. Wow, man. Thank you for that, bro. It means a lot, because a lot of times I'm just, I'm always in my head. I'm always figuring it out, So even when I've been at my lowest, there's always a lot of people going, man, you great, and I don't see it. And even when I'm at my highest and I'm at my peak, I still don't see it. But I can tell you a story about when it started. For me, the turning point was with Morafi, and we lived in a neighborhood called Blagari, Randburg. Down the road, Young Smuts is Vega. Before that it was Triple A, right?
Yeah.
And one day, because I was always super inquisitive about like, damn man, how do you bring brands and like musicians together? I mean, Sean Carter and Reebok were doing it. You know, it was already happening. Where you see like big brands, global brands with just rappers coming together and doing something amazing. And I was trying to find, my feet, just trying to find a way, to make it happen. And then I knocked on the door at Vega. I was looking for anybody, be it a dean, be it anyone. I randomly went in there, bro. It was just one of those days. It was just broke. And I find this like young lady who was like ahead there. She had like these huge locks, Erica Badu style in her prime. I'm like, hi, my name's Khuli. I represent this crew. It's called Morafi. And I'm just trying to figure out like how I could create sponsorships and brand partnerships for them and da da da. And we said and we talked. Why she let me in, you know. But then, the tongue was a little looser. I wasn't as diplomatic. I was nigga shela boy. So and then she's like, yo, let's have another meeting. We have another meeting. She teaches me everything about brand positioning, what branding is, da 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 da. So she literally, I got my tuition through her. And then right after that, we worked on a pitching deck for Boogaloo's. There used to be a skater shop called Boogaloo's back in the day. It had these skater sneakers and like skater wear. And then I got Morafi the first deal with like a skater wear um, gear. And that's where it started. My curiosity has always kind of nudged me in spaces, you know. And then the silent moves come from how Jabba used to move and how everybody moved from where I'm from. A lot of guys that we don't know, that I know, that have made moves that would blow your mind, that inspire me. So that's when it changed for me. Her name is Pretty Oliphant. I don't know where she's at, but wherever she's at, man, shout out to you. You changed my mindset. You help me understand that there's something much more bigger than just talent. you know because after that, I then assumed the position of being the guy who pitches, to brands and ideas. So I'd rap, have time, but I'm out there. Toady was the guy who's out there buying beats. So let me give you an example. So Toady in Morafi went out and bought the beats. One, he got Standwa Sam. Two, he got a bunch of classics for me. KG did was always the guy in the background directing the music. You know, that's the team. I was just taking one for the team, but it brought me to this place.
Wow. You know what? That's amazing. And one thing that just sticks in my mind, thanks for telling this story. One thing that sticks in my mind, and this is going back, I think, maybe 10 years ago or more. I don't know. You were the first African artist I ever saw who had a creative director for an album. Maybe I was just late to the game or whatever, but you were the first one. And you were the first person that made me look at it differently because of that. I was like, this guy's got a creative director for an album. What the hell is going on? You
Yeah.
know? But it's triggered something within me. And that's why I just feel like you're one of those people that deserves the respect because when I say those loud, silent moves, that's what I mean. It's the little seeds that you sowed without realizing you're probably doing it for yourself, but you opened a lot of eyes. So thank you.
Thank you so much, bro. It means a lot to me, bro. Thank you, man.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you so much. So we've run out of time for our space, but I do have a question that was posed earlier on, and I didn't actually bring it up to you, Khuli. Pro G is the name as a producer, an excellent one, if I might say, and he wants to know how do I get some instrumentals to the legend? So what's the process if he'd like to send you some instrumentals for you to work on?
Hey, man. On a personal, you could just you could DM me, slide in the DMs. But we've got a property that we're building now for just producers at the Khuli Chana Studios. So I can't wait to see you in that space. But I chat to a lot of producers. You could just start there, DM me, send me some stuff. I'll get back to you. Yeah, you know, and that's it. It's really not that complicated. And then but there's one we're really trying to tap into the fashion space. I've recently partnered up with a space called Nguruma, and we've been looking for like fashion gods, just thinkers, to help us on like how we could help independent artists and even guys in the mainstream to kind of like build a merch and monetize that. So if you have any ideas around that, please hit me up. I know that's outside, It has nothing to do with the Chana Studios, but I love my fashion. I love to look good, and I was always gonna tap into that. So if you are in the fashion space, please do reach out to us, and let's see how we can collaborate in that.
Amazing. I'll take one more question from M Pasha, then we'll close the space. Unfortunately, we run our spaces for an hour, so as to not, infringe into our evenings. So before I let you go, Kudi, let's hear from M Pasha. Okay, Papa.
Re gona lena.
Awa re gona, Papa. Le ka bolela.
I know we're running out of time. So quick one, Khuli. I wanna ask. Um, uh, I've listened to space. I hear that you sort of evolved from okay, I'm talented. Now, how do I take it to the next level? Okay, I need to move like a brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna ask, when it comes to, you mentioned is that you wanna monetize and you wanna be a house. Has there been a moment where you got the monetization, but you sort of overstepped in a sense of okay, I've sold out here, or it's a thing of okay, this is how far I want to monetize it before I'm like, the money doesn't matter anymore. I just want to hear your view on that.
I think I get your question. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, money is like, hey, it's a beautiful thing, but I get na le bo sataniana. Na le, why you taking nyoko? I mean,
Hey,
20, 2014, 2015, 2016, I was driving an Aston, you know what I mean? Like, I did it, bro. I did everything money like, and then and that's how you learn, and you're right. Right now, I could live without a car, bro. I don't even need one. I have a guy who rocks up here who kind of Ubers me around, who, I don't want to call him a chauffeur or driver, So I appreciate the fact that I experienced all of that money, stuff early, you know, and I'm in a different place now. So monetizing and the art of it and learning it consistently and making it your business to learn how to monetize yourself in this business should be a major key, guys, because I can tell you, man, I've lost too many friends in this business, just virtue of the fact that they did not know how to monetize. You understand me? Like, I've got friends that won't even go back home. Guys have been here for over 20 years or 10 years, and they're too embarrassed to go back home because they got nothing to show for it. You understand me? I've got friends who are too attached to an old idea of themselves in this business. You understand me? And if you stop being a student and just going, okay, cool, I can rap, but I want to learn how to sell. I want to learn how to sell ideas. I want to learn how to make other rappers pop. I want to learn the algorithm. I want to learn how DSPs and Spotify and all these guys move. I want to learn about the innovator that created Spotify. I want to learn about this and that. You'll never grow in this business. Gao China. Forget about it. You understand me? So if,
yeah.
if you're still stuck on who's hot, who's not, yeah, that's cool. That's always for a moment, you know. But the guys that I've watched, like, I'm a little older than you guys probably. Let's see who's on here. All right. Okay, Kibonadre. Somebody has a avatar Yare Lucas Mangope. Yeah, I'm around that. So if you're not trying to grow to a level that scares you, forget about it. And that's where I'm at, and the people I now surround myself with are the guys that just have ideas that scare me beyond, and a lot of them, man, I can tell you clean. If you follow guys like Childish Gambino, Childish Gambino,
Oh, I
uh
love him. I love him. I
oh,
love him.
every guy,
Very, yeah, he's an all-rounder
you
in terms
feel
of
me,
stretching
every
himself. Yeah.
guy I'm around is like, can sing, can direct, can write, scripts, for the screenwriting, and then everyone is like a bit multi in the talents, and the students, and they just want to absorb and they want to grow. So that That's how we got to do it. And thank God for COVID, because wasn't for that, I don't think we would have learned how to. You have to become more to survive. Period.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay, okay. So always learn, expand your skills, and don't stay to your strong point, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So you play to your strengths, but don't be. It's like this. We used to brag about how we are not 9 to 5ers, but you have to outwork the 9 to 5. You get what I'm saying? So
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
I used to brag about, nah, I keep better 9 to 5, but yet I'm sleeping all day. This guy is putting in the work, so it means I have to outwork him. You know what I'm saying? Because a 9 to 5 has benefits, has all these things that kind of take care of their future. You are in the business of creating your own future. You create your own bags, your own opportunities, your own money. It's a different ball game. And I've watched guys that start this thing, and once it starts to kind of become turbulent, hey man, they want nothing to do with it. This thing, I won't lie, man, it's super glamorous, it's fun, it's amazing how you walk through the mall and everybody recognizes you and everybody wants to take a picture with you. Hey, but as a business, it's hard. It is hard, and it takes a guy who's mentally strong, or lady who's mentally strong, who puts in the work, who's always learning about how to make themselves, you know, uh, how to master the art of business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fully
Mhm.
understand. I
That-
have many more questions, but we don't have time.
all right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Big Bro, for sharing your time with us tonight. I think you've watered a lot of our minds, a lot of our hearts and souls, and as a lot of the gents have mentioned, you are highly, highly respected. It's not something that may not always come to your mind, but we need you to collectively, all of us. You must know that we love you deeply, we respect you deeply. You're such an inspiration to us, and we keep looking to you to see what's next, and how we can not even model you, but just pick from a page from your book. So thank you so much for your time. The Chana studios are going to be such a vibe. I can't wait to see creatives in there, and I also can't wait to be part of the generation of young people that are in those studios creating for the next generation of creators, artists, and so forth. Two things that I would just want to highlight is that Kulichana mentioned that there is a property that's going to be developed for producers within the Kulichana studio. So stay tuned for that. To make sure you follow the Chana underscore studios account. It's pinned onto the space. You can just quickly click on there and follow them for updates on when that's going to be happening. And he's also currently looking for somebody who's fierce in the fashion field. If you're somebody who is a creative, you're a fashionista, you really are, looking to grow yourself as a creative director in that aspect, you've got some innovative ideas on how to bridge fashion, branding, and artistry, please do get hold of his team. They are looking for somebody like that to develop something with relation to branding and merchandising for artists. I'm happy for you to also DM me for all of these, and I'll just pass on the message to the team as well. Yeah, but other than that, thank you so much for joining us. This is recorded. You will be able to play it back. We are back on Music Unscripted Twitter Spaces next week, Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. Central African time, 6 p.m. West African time, and 8 p.m. East African time. A big shout out to my community that is in here, my community from Ghana, Namibia, Nigeria, as well as, who did I see? Uganda and Zimbabwe, as well as Eswatini, of course. Big bro, I love you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
I love you, baby. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. One love.
Peace, everybody. Have a good evening. Stay blessed. Stay shining.